would like to present the class of 2021 of Aiken High School. Seniors, you may be seated. At this time, we would like to take a moment of memory for two class of 2021 students who were taken way too soon from Aiken High School. In their memory, we have a memorial chair, their cap and gown, and a rose to show that we remember them and we miss them. Craig Stevenson. We miss you, Craig. And Nelvin Nunez Acosta. I miss Nelvin's smile for sure. All right, at this time, I'd like to introduce to you, first of all, I'd like to say good evening. Class of 2021, parents, staff, family, and friends. I'd like to recognize honored guests that are sharing in this graduation with us today. When I call their name, if you would please stand. Ms. Pam Bowers, Cincinnati School Board of Education member. Mr. Dan Hoying, General Counsel of Cincinnati Public Schools. Mr. Al Schumar, New Tech Program Facilitator. Miss Alita Hard. Mr. Sam Yates, Assistant Principal. Miss Sandy Horine, Senior Counselor. Miss EJ, Senior Class. Miss Dana Bierman, Resource Coordinator. Miss Clarice Williams, Senior English Teacher. Mr. Brandon Freeman, Senior Math Teacher. Miss Brandy Foster, Senior Science Teacher. Mr. Trent White, Senior History Teacher, Peregrine Sanctuary Leader. Miss Betsy Thurman, Senior Teacher. And Mr. Aaron Parker, Senior Teacher. We will now have the Class of 2021 Salutatorian Address by Lena Helton. This year's salutatorian has been with Aiken for 4 years and has been a very active student in every way. She's become a member of the marching band and a strong leader in that program. She will be going to Hawaii with them next year. She has also been a member of National Honor Society, GE Scholars, president of JCG, and our salutatorian. She was co-chair of the College Collaborative, where she helped with strategizing how to help her peers with college applications and FAFSA. She has also been planning senior college and career activities such as signing day. She is a leader among her peers and is respected by the Aiken family. The Class of 2021 salutatorian, Lena Helton.
Good evening, everyone. I would first like to thank all of you, from students to teachers and staff, with us for this special occasion. You all have had a profound influence on the growth and success of the graduate, and I believe I speak for us all when I say thank you for everything. When I sat down to write this speech, I had absolutely no idea where to go with it. And I even thought about being a true Falcon and winging it. Do I talk about memories of great importance to me? Do I talk about significant events that happened at school? Do I come up here and just give shout outs? I wasn't sure. I came up with something, so here it goes. People say that a legacy is planting seeds in a garden that you never get to see. My mother planted the seeds that are her legacy in many ways, but the most beautiful flower in her garden is my high school career. She did not finish high school, so she was determined to see me graduate and get my diploma. Read, write, learn, and strive for whatever I can when it comes to school. I owe all of my educational achievements to her. My mother passed away shortly after my 11th birthday, and her garden was no longer being tended to. The flowers that began to sprout were being attacked by weeds, and there was no one there to pick them the way that she. There have been countless times when I thought about giving up, when I couldn't see my way forward clearly, when two roads diverged in a yellow wood and I didn't know which one to take. But time and time again, I've realized that my mom didn't leave me. She is still with me. That's when the first gardener stepped in, my Aunt Kelly. I've known her all my life, and words can't express how grateful I am that her and her children have welcomed me into their family with open arms and treated me no differently than they would one another. A couple of years later is when I began school at Aiken. Freshman year, I was definitely in a shell, but the students here were welcoming. I would like to thank you all for the bonds that we all began to build and are still continuing to strengthen. It was in Aiken gardeners to tend my mom's garden, Miss Cole and Miss Schreiner. The day that our class walked through their door, they consistently demonstrated that they love and support us no matter what, and my relationship with the two of them remains the same today. Anytime I need something, they are always there, and I would like to thank them both for that. I also want to thank every other teacher I've had the pleasure of having over the years. Some of the biggest lessons that I learned at Aiken were that you can't control everything, but you can advocate positively for yourself and change will come. To always stay true to yourself and to never be afraid to make mistakes. In fact, the most valuable thing you can do is make a mistake because one, you're doing something, and two, you can learn something from it. Not only can you learn from mistakes, but you can learn from people, and I want to thank my class as I have learned immensely from you. Graduation may seem like the end, but it is stronger than that. Think of graduation as a launching point for our future that is going to launch us into whatever our future holds for us. Life is about growing and glowing. We've grown, and tonight we glow, so let's go forward into the future and make it better than what we expected to be. At this point, I'll leave you with this. Never let anyone interrupt your drive, class of 2021. There may be barriers, but take a detour. There is always a way.
Beautifully said. So we had hoped that our choir could perform live tonight, but due to safety protocols in place, we will have a pre-recorded musical melody section. At this time, we will have the class of 2021 valedictorian address. Our valedictorian joined Aiken in the 9th grade. She has excelled in academics from day one and was top of her class by the end of her freshman year. She's been active in basketball and other programs such as Aiken's GE Scholars, National Honor Society, UC Ambassador, and was the chair of the college. She's been a much respected leader of her peers. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021 valedictorian, Ms. Brooklyn Taylor.
Good evening, class of 2021. First of all, I want all the graduates sitting in the seats before us. We made it despite all of the obstacles that were being thrown at us, despite all of the friends, pros, and even family that told us we wouldn't make it. And most monumentally, we made it through COVID-19. We did it. Secondly, I would like to thank all of the Aiken faculty who challenged me and forced me to never settle for less. You taught me to be self-sufficient and how to advocate for myself. You guys always challenged me and saw the potential in me before I even knew it was there. I want to thank my mom for always supporting me through school, for staying up late night with me to complete projects, even if she had no clue what was going on, for constantly putting her needs and wants on the back burner to make sure I'm straight, for meeting with my teachers on a regular basis, and for always being ready for fight for me. I love you. I want to thank my grandma, Manny, for always being there for me as well, for making her home my second home, for praying over me and with me, and for always believing in me. I want to thank my aunt for believing me, for encouraging me and supporting me as well, and my dad for being a great provider and for helping me out in a crunch. Thanks, Dad. Before Aiken, I had been attending predominantly white schools. I somewhat felt like Star from The Hate U Give. Just like her, I felt like I was being torn between two worlds. At my previous schools, I wouldn't have dared to talk about police brutality or express my feelings toward a racial matter in school. That was all I knew. So my transfer to Aiken was a huge culture shock, my 9th grade year. Freshman year, I really just took my time to get the feel of the new school. I remember being escorted to my first class with Mr. Pettit and Mr. Helton. I was shocked when I walked into the room. It was full of people that looked like me. After those double bells, a student helped me find my next class with Mr. Huffman, where I met one of my best friends, basically a sister, Mariah. Through all the ups and downs and unnecessary disputes, we never let that pull us apart. That next bell, I met my best friend, Desmond, and we've been inseparable since then. Sophomore year was my exploratory year. I tried out for the basketball team and made it, so that was cool. The only con was that I hated having the ball in my hand. And finally, after 3 years of playing, I scored my first 4 points my senior year. I'm thankful for my teammates for encouraging me, Mercedes, Johnny, Michelle, and the seniors from the previous years. Then all the programs were thrown at me. UC Scholars, GE Scholars, probably some other scholars. Honestly, too much to count, but all of it was worth it. My sophomore year, my cousin Dalen graduated from Woodward, the valedictorian, and that pushed me to follow in his footsteps. I started to break out of my shell. Some of my most memorable moments took place in Ms. Cole and Ms. Schreiner's class. Those debates were the best, and also led me to meeting another close friend, basically a sister as well, Trinae. Junior year is pretty much when we all hit a brick wall, but before that, everything was great. I was still playing basketball, and I was thinking about track, and Ms. McCoy had even convinced me to sing a solo in front of the whole school while holding Mariah's hand. Then when we started to hear the news about this newfound virus, at first it was just little bits of information. Then it became a huge on social media. All at once, our teachers started to tell us that we might not see them the next week. Sure enough, they were correct. Couldn't even get my favorite Nike hoodie out of my locker, and by the time I got back, it was gone. At first, it was exciting. We figured it would just be for a few weeks and everything would go back to normal. But the opposite happened. Virtual school stressed me out, and my grades reflected that. The summer was boring, not that I used to do much anyway. Used to be enough excitement for me, but even that had become dangerous. Most enjoyable year of all would have definitely been my senior year. There was so much going on and so much uncertainty, but look at us, we're here. We received a lot of no's this year, and despite all of that, we still did it. Despite all the lives lost, the shortages in supplies, the change in our everyday routine, and yes, the long, drawn-out Google Meets, 100% of us are finished. These past couple of weeks, I've really just been reflecting on the past 4 years. We've been through so much in school alone. I realized that Aiken really broke me out of my shell. It was so close-knit that there was no possible way that you couldn't remember a face. At first, I used to think Falcon Family was cringy, but now I believe in it with my whole heart. When somebody was hurt or down, I felt it and wanted nothing more than to make it better. On a side note, I want to give a shout out to Senora Salazar for being one of my most influential teachers, and not only for being a strong woman in her faith and heritage, but for overcoming a big health obstacle and snapping back better than ever. I'm truly saddened that our journey has come to an end, but others are soon to start. I want to encourage all of you guys to follow your heart and dreams. College is not for everybody, and don't let anybody force it on you. Find something you truly love and make a living off of it. Whether it's fighting for our country or working at a local grocery store or just keeping the city clean, do what is best for you because you're going to make a difference regardless. I personally want to become a midwife, so that I'll be attending the University of Cincinnati this fall, majoring in nursing on a full academic scholarship, and I cannot wait. Most importantly, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here today. I want to thank Him for blessing me with so many opportunities and such wonderful friends to support me. Without Him, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena and Brooklyn, for your speeches. Your words and your emotion is an inspiration to us all, and we look forward to hearing about your many accomplishments in the future. Well, in Falcon style, our keynote speaker this evening, I figured after this year, with all the stressors and with as patient as you all were and compliant with all these protocols, I was not going to bring in a boring adult to talk to you tonight. I figured you might want to hear from one of our very own, Keyshawn Townsend. This next speaker bleeds purple. He is Mr. Aiken, having been here all 6 years and making an impact on us since day one. He has been very involved with Aiken Partners, wordplay, and spoken word, to which he's been celebrated around the world. In the summer of 2019, he was named and awarded a Global Citizen Curtis Scholarship and won a trip to South Africa and to New York City for advocate work. In New York, he was able to participate in a conference and work with Hugh Jackman, as well as be involved in the setup of a Queen Adam Lambert concert. He also won a scholarship to go to Taiwan in a home visit during the summer of 2018. Ambassador for recruitment and has been an ambassador for peer. Aiken is a better place because of this Falcon, and we're going to dearly miss him. We thought it appropriate this year to have a student as our keynote speaker in light of all the difficult work that was before us. Here to celebrate student voice, ladies and gentlemen, Keyshawn Townsend.
Try not to let the waterworks start just yet. Ever since elementary, we've been taught that 1 + 1 = 2. That whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. We've been taught to reach for the stars no matter how far they might be. I've been told never to accept anything. My 6th grade year, I had to choose what high school I wanted to attend. As any student during that time, Dater and Walnut Hills were my top choices. But unlike everyone else, Aiken was my #1 choice. I was told so many times that I will excel academically at Aiken versus any other school. I was told time and time again that Aiken just wasn't the school for me. I was told that nothing good would ever come out of Aiken, and still I kept Aiken as my first choice because my instinct told me differently. Now look, I stand before you today, graduated to the second power. I stand before you as one of the first student keynote speakers for Aiken's graduation. I could stand before you right now and express the nightmares and deep history of my past, expressing the strength it took to finally get here. But watching the news, we already know how hard it is to be black in America. We already understand the strength and power that radiates through black, educated excellence. It doesn't matter what your story is. It matters who you became because of it. Being at Aiken New Tech High School has allowed me to become a big fish in a small pond. Being at Aiken New Tech High School has allowed me to be noticed and celebrated after every accomplishment. Being at Aiken New Tech High School has equipped me with the skills to succeed in the world that wants to see me fail. Being at Aiken New Tech High School has empowered me to never settle for anything less than excellence. Being at Aiken New Tech High School has equipped me with a family that will always flock together. Ever since my 7th grade year, I vowed to myself that I will always help my classmates by being that big brother that managed to achieve what you considered was impossible just to show that you can do it too. I vowed that I will be that shoulder you need to cry on, or that back you needed to lean on. I vowed to myself that only excellence will radiate from my class. And I could definitely say we succeeded that exponentially. I personally want to thank you, the class of 2021, for being my motivation to continue to succeed and grab stars that seemed light years away. Because of you, I was able to find my voice, become a voice for the voiceless. Because of you, I was able to travel the world, 32,348 miles around the world. Because of you, I became brave enough to tackle our own government just for you to be empowered and tackle it with me. Because of you, I am now assured that the world would not be able to contain the excellence that we have to offer. Because of you, I simply just want to thank you for everything. Everything. Everything that I have done has been in the name of Aiken. To only empower you, to push you, to motivate you to achieve what you consider was impossible. I hope that I was able to keep my wishes of being able to be that big brother that you could look up to, the shoulder you can cry on, the back you needed to lean on, an ear when everything just did not seem all right, or simply a friend that acknowledged you when the world tried to push you out. I will also like to thank my teachers as well. I've noticed that all of my science teachers have shown us with so much potential energy, and once we hit our peak, all that potential energy will speed up into kinetic energy, hitting limits that were never before seen, to the point where we can shoot to the stars and right back. This energy has always been within us, because this energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transformed. I've noticed that all of our social studies English teachers have shown us, though might be, keep moving forward. No matter how hard this chapter in your life might get, keep moving forward. This story does not end here. There is always a lesson to be learned after every given moment. It only matters if you listen. I've noticed that all of our math teachers have shown us that together we can accomplish anything. When we all put our heads together, that question of mx plus b quickly becomes, psst, here are the answers. Here are the answers. You got it. You got it. I am not one to typically write speeches. I am one who uses their voice through spoken word. So I close out with this. Hold fast. For if dreams die, life is a broken wing that cannot fly. Langston Hughes. All of my life I've been told that I was a gift, blessed by the gods, enchanted with warm caramel skin, China that hides in your grandmother's kitchen, confined in a box built to keep me submissive. Are you listening? All of my life I have been seen as statistics, another no good slave soon to be trapped by some pigmen, another educated black man that could go missing, another drug dealing hide your purse he could be stealing, a lock your car an extra 3 times type villain. Are you listening? I am black and educated and still a threat. I am passive and submissive and still will get checked, but I am the first one to get that knee on my neck. I mean that noose on my neck. I mean that strange fruit that swings from the southern trees, the scent of magnolia and burning flesh. Now let me catch my breath, because the flames of 1,000 slaves are running out of my chest. So best be assured that they are about to speak next, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave Maya Angelou. I am black. I am educated. I am an educated black man with dreams that reaches far beyond you can see. I am a threat. I am a destabilizer. I am a government shifting no good slave that's gonna walk his black royalty to heights never before seen. Because I am a gift, because I am my gift. Blessed by the gods, enchanted with warm caramel skin, sculpted like some fine china that hides in your grandmother's kitchen, with a smile that burns brighter than all those racist pigmen. I am black and educated. I am officially graduated.
Now you know why I asked him. Thank you, Keyshawn, as always, your wonderful words of wisdom and encouragement for our graduates. So this next song, I heard this during the pandemic. I thought, this is perfect for my kids, because after that speech, listen to these words, and please take these words and go forward and be the change that you want to see in the world. So the next song, pre-recorded by the Aiken Choir. now have the conferring and presentation of diplomas by CPS board member Pam Bowers, CPS General Counsel Dan Hoying, and Brooklyn Taylor, Aiken class of 2021 valedictorian. Ms. Pam Bowers and Mr. Daniel Hoying, I present to you the Aiken New Tech High School class of 2021 who have met all of the necessary requirements in order to receive a diploma from Cincinnati Public Schools.
I confer that the Aiken New Tech High School class of 2021 has met all of the requirements associated with the Ohio Department of Education, Cincinnati Public Schools, and the North Central Accreditation Association.
On behalf of Cincinnati Public Schools, I would like to present these diplomas to the class of 2021.
On behalf of Cincinnati Public Schools, I would like to present these diplomas to the class of 2021.
We will now have the graduates come forward to receive their diplomas. Mr. Schumacher will read the name of the graduate.
First row. Please come up. LeVar Allen. Ariana Arellano. Yorab Bentawa. Sanjeet Basnet. Kiesia Beerfield. Tatiana Bell.
Brandon Barnett was not here. Brandon Barnett was not here.
Janelle Binion. Dominique Berry. Mercedes Bowman Engelman.
That's my friend. Just let y'all know.
Brie Bradley. John A. Brooks. Brian Brown. Burke. Christina Burns. Jordan Butts. Innocent Biringiro. Mohammed Kamara. Hassan Simalamungu. Trinity Cooley. Sincere Cotton. Andy Curtis Silva. Jair Davis. Mamadou Jallo. Badara Jang.
I'm going to try it.
Shaikh Abdul.
What's your name? It looks so much different over here.
Brooklyn Dillard. Shair Dunn. DeAndre Duskin.
You want me to say Iraq?
Aquan Evans. Jamar Evans.
Pull Carly.
Jayshawn Freed. Lee Gaines Jr. Alejandra Garcia Mora.
You want me to say Enrique?
Juan Enrique Garcia.
Ladarius?
Darius Goodson. Ahmad Tyreek Gray.
Just Bree, right?
Bree Hall.
Call me by dad. You can say my full name. Say Isaiah too. I want the whole name. You ready?
Desmond Isaiah.
Pull Michael Hall.
Michael Hampton Huff. Naomi Hardy.
Brooklyn, right? excited.
Brooklyn Harris Colvard.
B, I'm Ari.
Ari Harris.
Kavia. Kavea.
Kavea Hayes. Lena Helton.
What's your name? Abigail Hernandez, not here? Okay.
Jeremiah Higgins. Cameron Hollingsworth.
Derica, right? Derica.
Derica Hope.
Dalen. Dalen Wayne. Want to say it all?
Dalen Wayne Houston.
Hey, Raya. Hey, Raya. Say just like that.
Teraya Howard.
Demario. Let me say your middle name too.
Demario Lamar Hudson Jr.
Just Javon, right?
Javon Hunter.
Quintana, Quimmy.
Quinny Hurt.
Jamiris. Oh. What's your name? Abigail.
Abigail Hernandez. Jamiris Irvin. Shayana Jackson.
Shamaya Jackson. Are you guys related? And yet your names are that close together.
Shemaya Jackson.
Sydney Jefferson. You want me to say your middle name?
Sydney Marie.
Huh? You want me to say your middle name?
Devion Johnson. Kevon Johnson.
I got you.
Kenrick Johnson.
Octavius. You want me to say?
Robert Octavius Johnson. Jaden Kelvon Jones. Brandon Alexander Jordan.
How do you say your middle name?
Aja J.L. Kemp. Cameron Jermaine Kemp.
Tiara Nicole and just Tiara.
Tierra Nicole Kennedy.
Everybody knows who you are.
Mariah Kyle. Trinity Kyle. Giovanni Lane.
Bintu.
Bintu Low.
Nde Fatu.
Fatu Low.
Miriam. Nde Miriam.
Nde Miriam.
Mario Lowry Jr.
Mario Lowry Jr. Jashanti Amari Light.
Murphy Malloy.
Malloy. Malloy. Say it again. Malloy. Murphy Malloy. Murphy Malloy.
Murphy Malloy.
You want me to say your middle name? Rashid.
Tyrell Rashid McLean. Tony McLeod. Jeremiah Torrance McDonald Hemphill. Akai Meadows. Gilver Mejia Diaz.
Guess I shouldn't have quit, huh?
What? You shouldn't have. Right.
Julian Miller.
Yeah.
Say my name.
Kashif.
Yeah, say it a little strong.
Kasim.
No,
No, don't say the middle name. Kashif Miller, right?
Yeah.
Asukalu Makachi.
Asukalu Matachi.
I knew you. Didn't think you'd make this, did you?
Carlito Morrison.
Kadeem John.
Kadeem Jai.
You ready, Moore?
Moore Jai.
Tiago Nunez.
Tiago Nunez.
Arakite Onanuga. Close enough, huh? I'm going to say it really fast.
Arakite Onanuga.
Just Neasia Patrick.
Neasia.
Let me say your middle name. Say it all.
Sean Alexander Parks Cunningham.
You want me to say Jameer? Don't say my name wrong. Is that how you say it? Just Jameer?
Karar Purdue.
I always call you Ion. Yeah. If it starts with an E, how can I miss it?
Iana Pittman Carter.
Rosny.
Rosny Rye.
Sujan, did I say that right? Sujan?
Sujan Rye.
All right. I'm saying your full name. No, I'm saying Lamont.
Antoine Lamont Rice Jr. Dallas Shane Rice.
You ready?
Evan Joseph Robertson.
Hey.
Trinae Robinson.
You want me to say Benjamin Brunel? No? Okay.
Salter.
Good to see you. I'm glad you got everything down.
Sanders. Kiesia Amani Scott. Ricky Scott.
I won't.
Razahaye Salasi. Xavier Jacob Amir Sparrow.
I won't.
Jakata Stone. Katia Sai. Devarion Talley. You want me to say your middle name? Amari Khalil Tate.
Lillian Marie Tavares.
Marie Tavares.
Where's Brooklyn at? Michael. Okay, hold on a minute. Let Brooklyn go.
Brooklyn Nicole Taylor.
Michael Rodney.
Michael Rodney Thomas Payne.
Put up just a second. Daryl Thomas is next.
Daryl Thomas.
You want me to say your middle name? I will.
Aaron Christopher Thompson.
Monique.
Deasa Monique Thompson.
Huh?
Jashawn Lamar Thompson.
Middle name or not?
Amaya Blessing Thornton.
Tyrese. No.
Keyshawn Tyrese Townsend.
Miriam. I just want to make sure I say it right. Trayor.
Miriam Trayor. Montez Trimble. Shalem Tyrese True. Micaiah Turner. Evan Julian Twitty Jr.
Tyree Treble, right? Oh, wait.
Tyree Tribble.
Okay, where are we at here? Diego Vicente Velasquez.
Diego Vicente Velasquez.
be scared.
Jalen Walker. Samaya Walker. Isaiah Romel Ware.
Sterling Anthony William Montana White.
Oh, no, I can't say that. I mean, I don't have them all right now.
Sterling, a.k.a. Stir Fry.
Sterling White.
Ariana Williams.
Ariana Williams.
Chanel Williams.
Chanel Williams.
Elijah. Your mom's going to scream, ain't she?
Chase Elijah Williams.
Derek Daniil Williams.
Derek Daniil Williams Jr.
Devin Deshawn.
Devin Deshaun Williams.
Jalen Benet. Jalen Benet.
Jalen Benet Williams.
Michelle Angel.
Michelle Angel Williams.
I'm so proud of you, man. Good job.
Richard Dwayne Williams.
Did the last one.
Harang Yoon.
Graduates, please stand. Will all of the graduates please stand? Graduates, please move your tassel from the right to the left. Please move your tassel from the right to the left. It gives me great pleasure to present the Aiken New Tech High School class of 2021. You are now officially graduated. You are ready to fly. Thank you.